I've been looking around recently and I've realized there's a certain type of male, as well as the females around him, who is the type who will not wear a mask. Why on earth would this be? Hey y'all, it's Dr. Know-It-All. This channel is dedicated to finding out whether I really do know it all or not. If you enjoy the video, definitely make sure you like and subscribe, and for sure ask me questions in the comments or at my email address. And also make sure that you subscribe, because when we hit 500 subscribers, I'm doing a giveaway. It's gonna happen soon, I guess. So this is a US-centric video for reasons that will become obvious right away. In fact, from the introduction, it might have been obvious from the get-go. While most of the world has embraced mask wearing as hygienic and especially necessary to combat the vicious pandemic we're all struggling with, there's a certain demographic in the US that seems to refuse to wear a mask, often doing so in a very aggressive or even violent manner. First, I should establish one thing. The science is completely clear that wearing a mask is the primary mode we have right now of slowing the spread of COVID. Study after study has shown that mask wearing by all parties reduces transmission by at least a factor of 6, which makes the R0 value go from above 1, which means that you're exponentially increasing the number of cases, to below 1, which means that it's flat or decreasing. Very importantly, this only works if all parties are wearing masks. In effect, you wearing a mask helps to protect others, while them wearing a mask helps to protect you. So it's a societal trade-off. You're all being nice to each other. With all the science behind the efficacy of wearing masks, why are there people who still refuse to, and who are these people? I have a theory. And this is anecdotal, of course, because I've not done any scientific studies, but I have a theory. The who is people who hold an aggressively don't step on my right to do anything I want to attitude. In other words, the classic macho man, in particular the US, John Wayne version of the macho man. The tendency is for this to be an alpha-type male who dominates his social circle, is hyper-masculine, and thus puts pressure around the others around him to conform to his views. Thus, often women in this man's orbit, or also men who are not such alpha males, will also refuse to wear a mask to kind of go along with that alpha male.
Hey Spike, how about we chase cars, huh? Does that sound like fun?
This attitude is exacerbated by the fact that the same type of male in positions of great power in the United States are demeaning those who wear masks and politicizing what should be a societal safety issue. So what's my evidence? It's anecdotal only what I've witnessed. I live in the southeastern portion of the United States, which I think is one of the particularly bad areas in terms of this. Or at least there's a huge divide between those who do wear masks and those who don't. What I've witnessed, in this area, women on their own tend to be wearing masks, and I think the overall mask wearing percentages are probably about 50-50 right now, which is just kind of tragic. Older people also tend to wear masks more, though not universally by any means, and less aggressively masculine or hyper-masculine males tend to also wear masks. So those who don't wear masks tend to be aggressively masculine, big truck driving, gun toting, etc., kind of males, and the women around them who come under their sway. I could be wrong, of course, as this is not a scientific study, but that's what I have witnessed. The aggression exhibited in refusing to wear a mask can also be attributed to this testosterone-fueled type of male, right? That's that kind of attitude, that hyper-masculine, aggressive, antagonistic sort of attitude. So what can we do? Well, having those in power state clearly or mandate by law that all must wear masks for public safety would really help, right? As this is unlikely to happen in certain areas, Governor of Georgia, what smaller steps can we take instead? First and foremost, make mask wearing a macho thing, right? So you've got this macho attitude that wearing a mask is somehow wrong. Shift that attitude. Honestly, macho men tend to think of themselves as protectors of their enclave, their women, their family, their friends, and so forth. So if we can get to that point where we convince a macho man that what they're doing is they're actually protecting those they love and those around them, that would help a huge amount. Signage, of course, could be useful. I'll put up a little graphic of something I made really quick, and you're certainly welcome to copy it and use it yourself if you want. Also, creating very macho masks could help. That already exists to some extent, but if we can make that a thing, that would be really useful. Also, rather than shaking one's head at excuses, what about a strategy that plays on the whole hypermasculine kind of thing? So, for example, you might get something like, I can't work out in a mask because it makes it too hard. Dude, the masks make it super hard to breathe, so it's like you're double training while you're working out. It's like altitude training, man. I won't wear a mask because it steps on my freedom to do what I want to do. Dude, what if somebody told you couldn't wear a mask? Wouldn't you want to then? And in all seriousness, man, the government has the specific right to ask you to do things for the public good, like not killing other people, wearing a seatbelt, etc., etc. So your freedoms are not being infringed in any unjustified manner by you wearing that mask. I won't wear a mask because it makes me look like a pansy. First, good for you for confronting your inner fears. And dude, check out these badass looking masks. You could strike fear into anybody around you with these things. At least in general, these arguments are augmentations of the attitude that's keeping this demographic from wearing masks. So it has to have a better chance of working than just completely slapping somebody in the face, right? Thoughts? Is this right? Is this wrong? What about in other parts of the US or even other countries? Are my thoughts on how to work around this resistance good, bad, indifferent? What would you do instead? So let me know in the comments, and of course try to keep that civil, either direction you want to go with. And remember this above all, be the change you want to see. I think that's very, very important. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, definitely like and subscribe, and definitely do that to get into the 500 subscriber giveaway that we'll be having. And definitely make sure you ask me questions in the comments or at my email address, which is DrKnowItAllKnows@gmail.com. Till next time, bye-bye.